Hi, my name is Candace Dominique, and I'm introducing you guys to my new YouTube channel, My Naked Truth. Hey guys, this is your girl Candace Dominique, aka Pretty Brown Obsession, back with part 2. Thank you to everybody that has already subscribed, and thank you to all of you that will subscribe. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and comment. Even if this may not be for you, it may be for someone else. So definitely try and share this. Let's go ahead and dig right in on part 2. When did abuse kind of stop for me? So there was, as I said before, there was a stop and then a starting point. And how that goes is, one day we were with my aunt, and my aunt was babysitting us, and my stepfather came to pick up my brother. And once he had picked my brother up, I had started to cry, and my aunt wanted to know why I was crying, and I, insisted nothing. And, my aunt had made a promise, if you tell me what's wrong, I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. And I believed her and I trusted her. So I opened up and I told her what was going on. She then stepped in and she called my mom, and don't really know the conversation, but I know my mom showed up a few hours later with my little brother, and when we left to go home, my stepfather was gone. Now, this day probably should have been like one of like most exciting days for me, or it should have been a good day, it should have been a happy day, but it wasn't. It was kind of scary in some ways because, I was always told, if you tell, I'm gonna hurt you. If you tell, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your mom. I'm gonna, bad things were going to happen. So that's why I had never told before. And so when we got home and he was gone, and I don't know why this like sticks out, but I remember him taking like the microwave. Like, I don't know. I think it's because my mom made a big deal about it. But also what was sad for me that day was my mom, like, she was like crying so bad and she was so upset. And for a moment I thought that she was upset because of what had happened to us. But then she was crying and she was just saying, I can't believe that he was gone. That kind of hurt because I was like, you should be happy that he's gone. You should be happy that he's not around. But she wasn't. She was hurt and she was devastated because she loved him. She really loved him. And it wasn't until I got older that I understood what toxic love was, what it was and what it was about. And that's what it was. They loved each other, but they were just so toxic for each other. And I think it took my mom a long time to realize that. So he was gone for a while, and it was just my mom and me and my brother. And then my older brother came and lived with us, and things were good. Like, my mom was a good mom. Like, she did so many things with us, and we were always somewhere, always doing something, just always having a good time. Here comes the triggers. So my mom had a best friend. Like, all of our aunties are like my mom's best friends from like before I was born. Like, so these women have always been a part of my life. But my mom's friend, Lisa Brown, she was murdered in the parking lot by a boyfriend. Then shortly after that, my mom wanted to leave New York. So I was probably like 12, and I was like a few days shy of being 13. My mom packed us in the car, and she said we were going out of town, we were going somewhere. And my mom, that wasn't like something odd for my mom to do, because we'd wake up one day and she'd be like, oh, we're going to Six Flags, or we're going somewhere, Great Adventure, we're going somewhere. So that wasn't a big deal for us. So us, we packed the car up, and we was in the car, and we was like, oh, we about to have a ball. Where are we going, right? We just know we're on a road trip. So we're driving, and it's like, oh wow, this is so nice, because it's like it's getting country. You know, we were some city kids, so we started like seeing cows and shit. We like, this is nice, but this is a little country. And as we get closer and closer, like we could feel the energy change. Like, so now we like, where we going? Where we going? This don't look like we going nowhere fun. Like, where we going? So, probably maybe like 20 minutes out, my mom says, we're going to see, let's just call him Jay. We're going to see Jay. And I look at my brother. It's like my heart just like sunk. Like, how could you do this to us? How could you do this to me? All I could think of in that moment is like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me. Like, I'm going to die. You couldn't protect me then. You definitely can't protect me now. I'm going to die. So we pull up at the house, and my little brother gets out, my mom gets out or whatever, and me and my older brother, we sit in the car, and I'm like, I'm not getting out. I'm gonna die in this car. I'm not getting out. Like, I'm gonna die in this car. I'm not getting out of this car. And my mom, she promises me, like, you know, it's gonna be different. It's not like it was before. Everything is gonna be different. I'm not convinced. I wasn't convinced. I was not convinced. And I was just like, no, I'm not getting out of this car. So I sat in the car for a while, and then my grandfather came over, and, you know, he's talking to me, and he's like, you know, baby girl, you got to get out the car, and going on. And then my stepfather comes out the house, and, you know, he's telling me, you know, everything's going to be okay, and, you know, I love you, you know, you still my baby girl, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what they talking about. I'm not getting out of this car. My older brother, he's sitting there with me. At this time, my oldest brother, he didn't really know what it was. Like, he didn't know what the abuse was like for me. It was just kind of like he might have heard it, but he never really experienced it. At that time, he never experienced it. But he just know that he was down for me, and he was my big brother, you know. So he's like, if you ain't getting out, I ain't getting out. So we sitting there. So my brother says to me, I'm gonna protect you. He was like, you get out, I'm gonna get out. He was like, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. So we get out the car or whatever, and we go in the house, and, you know, I'm still just like on guard, like, just like, I don't know, I ain't trusting it. So a little time goes by, and, you know, we're there, and then my mom says, you know, basically we staying, like, we moving in, like, we staying. Who you consult? Who you ask? You could have just left me in New York. That's how I felt about it. Like, you could have just left me in New York with anybody. I would have stayed with anybody at this point. You could have dropped me off at the shelter. I would have stayed there. That's how I felt. And I just felt like she chose him over us. She chose loving him over loving us. And that's how I felt. In the beginning, it was okay. In the beginning, it was all right. Things were okay. But then things started to go back how they were. The touching started back, but then now I'm more developed, and, you know, I ran track, and I just had this athletic build, but I had boobs, and I had butt, and I'm a big girl now. So it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't good, and I felt like she chose him over us. I felt like she chose him over us. So I had so much hatred built up for the both of them, her and for him. It wasn't till I started dating my oldest kid's father, my first husband. It wasn't until I started dating him that the abuse actually ceased, just stopped. Because now at this age, in my teenage years, it wasn't physical. It wasn't really we weren't really getting beat up. It was more like constantly touching my private parts, constantly groping my breasts, constantly groping my behind, just always on me. I remember one night him just touching all over me, and he gets on his knees to perform oral sex on me, and it was by the grace of God that my mom pulled up, and he pushes me on the floor, and he tells me go in the room, and I'm standing in the hallway because we had a window right in the hallway, and if I walked past the window, my mom would have seen me. So I stood there in the hallway, and I waited for her to open the front door before I walked in my bedroom, and I just laid there and I just cried. And I remember my older brother coming in the room with me, and he's just hugging me, and we just laying there, and he's just like, you can go to sleep, and I'm gonna sit up, and I'm gonna protect you. And I remember the next day, us telling my mom, and her saying she didn't believe us, that I was a liar and I didn't want to see her be happy. And I was just devastated, because it's just what I gotta do for you to believe me? What I gotta do for you to believe me? Because I love you and I do want to see you happy, but what do I have to do for you to believe me? So that took a lot out of me, for my mom not to believe me. That took a lot out of me. I was hurt because I felt like I had nobody in the world and nobody cared about me. I remember one time me and my mom getting into an actual altercation, and me calling my birth father and asking him to come take me away, to come get me. And as I'm telling him everything that's going on, and I'm just begging him to come, pleading with him to come get me, and his response to me was, I can't come get you, and he has his own life to live, so he couldn't come get me. He couldn't come take me. At that time is when I really felt like I had nothing and I had nobody. So when I started dating my first husband, and I told him what happened, what was going on, and he actually spoke up. He actually let my stepfather know that he knew what was going on, and he was going to tell his father. And he let him know, I'm going to tell my father. So it's so when I started dating him, I just felt like I was indebted to him, because he took me away from so much craziness. So even when he started doing his craziness, his cheating and his lying, it was just I didn't care what he did, because he took me away from everything that really hurt, everything that wasn't good. When I was 16, I had my daughter, which was probably one of the best things that ever happened to my life. I know some people feel you're a teen mom, this, that, and the third, but me having my daughter saved my life, because I wanted to commit suicide. One night I remember sitting in my room and taking a whole bottle of pills, and just laying there, just praying, God, please just take me away, let me die, let me die this time, take me away, let this time be the time that I die. And then I woke up in the morning and I'm just why am I still here? Jesus, why am I still here? What I gotta do? What do I have to do? Do I really have to just blow my freaking brains out before you take me up off this earth? A few days later, I found out that I was pregnant. So later on, I had asked my doctor, I had took a whole bottle of pills, and I wanted to know, was that gonna affect my daughter? And my doctor actually said, if it wasn't for me being pregnant, I probably wouldn't be here. But he ensured me that I was having a healthy baby. So, sometimes I like, my daughter, her name is Angel. Like, she really is my angel. Like, if it was not for my kids, I don't think that I would be here. I know I wouldn't be here because I live for them. Like, I live for them. I'm in love with them. That they are my first true love. I'm not saying for the young girls that watch my videos, I'm not telling you go out and get pregnant. I pride my daughters in not getting pregnant, still being virgins. My daughter's 17 years old, and she is actually like breaking generational curses for me, because if I had my choice, I wouldn't have been a teen mom. But God makes the plans and not me. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for their love. I'm grateful for their dads, because their dads gave me some of the most amazing kids, whether we together, not together, friends, not friends, communicating, not communicating. I'm grateful for them because they gave me some of the most amazing gifts. No gift that anyone will ever buy me from here on out would ever match up to that. Nothing. I do want girls to confide in someone. If you are dealing with sexual abuse, confide in someone. Someone will help you. You just have to know who your person is. My aunt was my person. She was my person, and she still stands true to being my person. Even though we wind up going back into an abusive situation, we were kind of not alienated, but separated from our family. No one knew where we were for a long time. No one was able to come get us, because I know for sure 2 of my aunts would have came and got me and my brothers, for sure. Girls, definitely confide in somebody. Boys, definitely confide in somebody. People need to not be so judgmental. Make sure if somebody chooses you to come to and opens up to you, you make sure that you do the right thing by them. You make sure that you do the right thing by them, because the next decision that you make can be life or death for that person. So you make sure if someone decides to come to you and confide in you and let you know that somebody is abusing them sexually, mentally, or physically, that you do the right thing. You do the right thing. And you make sure that that person is placed in a safe environment. Whether if you can't take them, you make sure that you find some place that they can go, that they will be safe. Because the hardest thing is opening up and telling somebody what's happening to you. 1, you don't want somebody to judge you. 2, you don't want to be seen as dirty or damaged goods. Even us women as adults, it's so hard to open up and say, I've been molested, I've been abused, I was forced to give somebody oral sex as a kid, or at any point you was forced to do something that you didn't want to do. It makes you feel broken. It makes you feel empty. It makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel not good about yourself. It makes you feel dirty. On all levels does it make you feel dirty. Please understand it does. So it's hard for somebody to open up to you. So if somebody does open up to you, you make sure you do the right thing by them. You make sure that you have a understanding mind. It's very hard to open up. So if someone does, please show love and compassion. At the end of this video, there will be a national help list that you guys can reach out to if need be. Again, my Instagram was hacked, so my Instagram is Pretty Brown Obsession 1, which the correct should be at the end of this video. You guys make sure that you go follow me on Instagram. You follow me on Facebook, Candace Dominique on Facebook. If you guys need to talk or you need someone just to listen, I will definitely listen. If you guys need help finding a safe haven, I will definitely put the effort into helping you. That national help list that's at the end of this video, you guys can reach out to them. They will help you anywhere you are. New York, North Carolina, Atlanta, anywhere you are, Washington, Kentucky, anywhere that you guys are, it's a national help list. They will help you. Call that number, they will help you. If you here in Fulton County, Safe Families, they will help you. If you guys are in a domestic situation, they help with so many different things. When I say they were amazing for me and my kids, amazing, promise you, they are. I mean, when I say they are a wonderful group of people, you guys have a great week. I hope that this can help someone. Even if it can't help you who are watching right now, maybe it can help somebody else, or maybe to help somebody open up, or maybe to help somebody get out of a situation. And that's all that I'm here for, to help somebody get out of a situation. You guys stay tuned to the next video. You guys have a great week. Peace and love. Peace and love. If you need me, guys, DM me. When I say I'm the least judgmental person, I am. I'm willing to listen. I promise you I am. I promise you I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to help. Whatever I can do, I will most definitely do. You guys have a great week.